guys, welcome back to the Crafty Maven. Today I am going to be sharing a 12 by 12 scrapbooking layout with you. And at the beginning of the video you saw the inspiration piece. This is our monthly inspiration piece you've been seeing throughout January. And we'll have a new inspiration piece each month. I believe most of the other girls in the group have also mentioned that. But today it is Mix It Up Monday, or I'm sorry, Mix It Up Monday, Stash It Monday. And I am pulling things out of my stash, definitely things that have been in there for quite some time. This is an old crate paper collection, and the photo that I'm going to be scrapbooking today is a picture of my daughter after her talent show a few years ago. But first I'm going to be doing this mixed media background. I put some gesso down first, and then I'm going to be taking these shimmers, little paints, I think they're the Inklings, and I am going to be doing some background work. I'm going to be using two different colors for the main color, the background. This kind of peachy pink color is going to be the main color, and then I'm going to come in with a green color, and then I'm going to add some splatters of a kind of gunmetal silver kind of color. And then that's going to make up the background. Most of this is actually going to be covered up, and once I started doing some of this work I kind of felt like I needed to put some more color on, but I ended up just not worrying about it. It is just kind of slightly peeking out behind my photo cluster, but that's okay. I think that's fine. I was going to put a little bit more on, but I had already had some of my layout down before I made that decision, and it just was going to be too much of a pain to try to add any more to the background. These little Inklings, they come in these little pots here, and they are a solid kind of a watercolor, and you just need to add a little bit of water to them. And then if you sit them for a little bit and let them kind of soften the color, you can then come in with a paintbrush and paint the color from the pot onto the paper or the plastic, or splatter it, whatever you feel like doing with the product. But it is a really great product, and it has a really awesome shimmer. The two that I'm using here are very kind of a iridescent-y, let's see, kind of shiny look as opposed to like a glittery look. And I think they'll work really well on this page. And I didn't want to do too much mixed media. I wanted to kind of keep it pretty simple because the background is pretty busy with the banners. And I just want to add a little bit of color to the background more than what's already there. What I got inspiration from the piece that we are doing this month is mostly the colors. I don't have a lot of scrapbooking product with purple in it, but I thought this collection worked well because it had some of the blues, teals, and yellows that are in the inspiration piece. So I grabbed that out of my stash that I've had quite some time. So here's the photo of my daughter. I'm going to mount it on this black paper that also came from the same Maggie Holmes crate paper kit, or collection I should say. And I like putting it on here because it gives a little bit of dimension, or pops it off the page. Since there's a lot of white going on, I wanted to add a little bit of separation between the photo and the background. I'm also going to be using some tissue paper and a doily. I want to add more texture. I have some texture with the paint in the background, but I wanted to add more texture than just that. I'm going to mount the photo on this piece of no, it's not yellow, it's pink. This pink paper, just tearing it with my ruler, and I like this because it's a nice soft look. I didn't want to have anything too harsh because I want to keep this layout rather soft. Now I am going to mount this down onto that pink paper, and then I'll come in here. Oh, sorry, no, I'm going to put the tissue paper in between the pink paper and the black paper. I'm just going to cut a chunk of this tissue paper off, and I only want the tissue paper on the right hand side, and I kind of want it ruffly. I want to give that added texture to the right hand side because I have the doily on the left. So I put a couple strips of tape, or HEG tape, down on the right hand side, and then I am going to kind of fluff up or ruffle up the tissue paper as I go, and then just kind of smush that down, and then I will trim off all the excess. I didn't want the extra bulk of the tissue paper kind of making the photo lopsided, so trimming off that extra helps to keep it from being lopsided. I will now trim off some of the tissue paper on the right just until I feel like it is the proper length. I didn't want it too much, but I wanted it sticking out enough that you actually see the tissue paper. So now I'm going to glue it all down to the pink piece of paper. the next thing I'm going to do is start working on my layering. But before that, I want to cut my doily in half just because I don't want to waste anything. I'm going to add just the one piece to the left-hand side, and I'll save that other piece for a different project. I was going to put it here in the top right. It just wasn't going to work, so I decided just to stick with the one half of the doily on the left-hand side. Now I'm going to pull out some ephemera and cut aparts from the collection. These are all pieces from a 12 by 12 sheet that I had trimmed out. I really like the ticket, that one that has 14 in that teal color, and mostly I got it for the teal color. I wanted more pink on the right hand side, so that's why I glued that down on the right. And I also am going to punch out this teal ticket. It had two little notches, and I wanted to have those showing because I thought it added a little extra interest to the piece of paper, and I just used my hole punch for that. I'm not going to need to use this whole Monarch May ticket, so I just cut it in half so I wouldn't have to waste any. And now I'm going to glue down that doily, and it's going to just peek out from the left hand side of the layout. Now I haven't glued this whole thing down yet. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to layer it. I am going to glue it down closer to the end of the page because I wanted to be able to move it around in case I wanted to put anything extra below the photo cluster. So the next thing I'm going to do is add another cut apart sheet, and I'm going to be popping it up on some foam. This is just some fun craft foam, and it is a way to add some dimension. I have that fluffy look of the tissue paper, and I wanted to add a little extra dimension, so I just popped up these pieces on the foam. Now the piece I'm working on right now, I'm going to add it a little bit later because it is going to overhang the photo and onto the 12 by 12 background, and because I haven't placed my entire photo cluster, I didn't want to glue that down yet. I'm going to pull this washi tape booklet out and look at some of the strips and the icons. I'm going to pull three hearts. I almost said flowers. That's not right. 3 hearts. I'm going to put one on the photo, one on the right hand side, or 2 on the right hand side by that pink ticket. I wanted to bring some yellow in. I hadn't used much yellow in any of the layers. There's a little bit on that Monarch card that I had tucked underneath the left hand side, but I wanted to bring a little bit more yellow across the page. I am also going to add this banner pink strip, and I'm going to add that directly to the background page. I just wanted a little extra, I don't know, layering in the bottom where that hello beautiful or that beautiful cut apart is going to go a little bit later. And I thought this washi strip was good. I'm also going to use some black and white because I had some dark colors in some of the other die cuts. I wanted to bring that towards the bottom. I'm just layering these pieces up. The nice thing about the washi tape is that it is transparent, so you can kind of see the background through it. You can see the different layers if you are layering them on top of each other. You can see them through each other, which is pretty cool. This is just like a little badge. It's a ruffly tissue paper, kind of that same corally pink color I used for the background. And it's already self-adhesive, so I just have to stick that down to the photo. Now I'm happy with where everything is going, so I'm going to glue this down. And again, you're going to see that washi tape in the bottom right-hand corner kind of peeking out. I'm going to add that beautiful, and I'm going to trim off the edge just a bit because I want, going off the side of the page. And then I'm going to finally glue down that little ruffly circle peachy thing, whatever it's called, with the heart on it. Now I'm going to look through these, what are they called? Not enamel. Well, I guess they're kind of like enamel. These enamel kind of shiny stickers, and I'm going to use a couple on the page. I'm going to use 3 words, and I'm going to use the word love as my title. And then I'll do some journaling in the bottom right hand corner. So you can just see me trying to figure out what words are going to be best. I used 2 of the dark black colored words, and I use 1 of that teal color under the word beautiful. And then love is just going to tuck there right by that word beautiful. And I have that in a couple different places now. The journaling, like I said, is going to go in the bottom right hand corner, just doing something very, very quick and underlining the journaling and putting the date there. And while I'm doing all that, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. If you would like to, make sure you check out our blog and our Facebook page for other inspiration and other layouts that everybody else is doing. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those below. And always don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can get the latest and greatest videos that are coming out. So I want to I want to thank you guys so much, and you can see some close-ups here at the end in just a second or two, and I will be back again soon. Bye. Have a great day, guys.